As we know that Eastern wisdom that I have been talking about, another word for the Eastern wisdom, I renamed it. The word is darshan. And darshan means direct perception. How do I see you? I see you through my eyes. How do you see me? Through your eyes. You listen to me through the indirectly. So the ears and the eyes are the instruments of the knowledge. When the mind goes through them, we understand the world outside. So there is a catch here when we say darshan. Darshans means direct knowledge, direct perception. Can I know you without using the instruments of the mind and the sense organ? I land up in only my true nature. The self here and the self there. The self, the true nature, is a common element. That is the goal of meditation and mindfulness. Just to put simply. Patanjali says in the third sutra, Tada drishtu swarupe avasthanam. Now I am settled in my true nature. Come on. I know people who are husband, wife, daughter, son, teacher. I know everything. What you are talking about. So the master says, or the Eastern wisdom says simple. It is the mind that goes through the sense organ, created a concept of husband, wife, daughter, house. This is my house, this is not my house, and that is how I know indirectly people, place and location. Indirectly. Why it is indirectly? Because that knowledge is coming through the mind, sense organs. So the master says, ask your mind, is the mind perceiving, knowing the things correctly? See that. From where the meditation comes. So now we are dealing with the mind. Mind says, no, he is my honey, he is my son, she is my daughter. It's a concept. First, it is indirect perception. Second, the concept gives us a wrong notion. Now I'm taking you to meditation within few minutes with a clarity of understanding. So before going further, let us know a little bit about the mind. My mind says, here is a Paul. Paul is object, outside. To know something, to know someone, to know something, the object has to be outside me. Separate from me. So the object, I see the computer screen and I also see the stress. See, I'm directly coming to the very simple issue. So whatever is happening in the mind is the object. I know. So who is this I? I is also created in the mind. And the knowing, the knowledge is also happening in the mind. If you are clear from here, then we can move little forward. So it means whatever we know, person, people, place, things have to be separate from me so that I can say, I am here, you are there, and I know. Three factors. from where the three factors comes. Our master says that all the three factors are the part of the mind. Subject, object, and knowledge. Subject, object, and knowledge. Clear. You can maintain that awareness here and now. You can be into the state of mindfulness here and now. You need not to go for the practice. And even if you go for the practice, what will happen? You'll go deeper. So subjective mind means I. Objective mind, you, she, he, can, husband, wife, daughter, my home, your home, stranger, the entire world outside. The mind is divided into two. And that is how I know. No, you are talking about direct perception. Yes, we are coming there, slowly. The world outside is constantly changing. My mind inside is constantly changing. From there the I comes. So here comes another catch. The world outside that the mind perceives in 5 different thought patterns. They are known as modifications of mind. What is that modification? 2 are right perception and wrong perception. It is a direct perception through the mind and the sense organ. See, for example, oh, here is Ashok. Right perception based on the facts. And I'm pointing to Ashok and I'm saying, oh, here is a Paul. Wrong perception. And what else are the wrong perception? Can you find out? You can live in meditation 24/7. If you live into that right perception. So what happens? My mind perceives wrongly, and then my mind continues with the wrong notion, and that causes the stress and anxiety and duality and conflict. And there are 2 which are in direct, that knowledge comes through the indirect contact with the mind. What is that? 2 groups, imagination and memory. Now see that imagination. My mind, now I am creating an imagination. The Ashok will surely respect me. He normally folds his hands. It is not required. You see that? So now I created an idea. That is imagination. And Ashok comes, doesn't fold his hand, and I'm hurt. Problem is there. Indirect contact. See that? One example. And the same thing happens with the memory. The memory and imagination are normally have an indirect contact with the mind. It is the storehouse of our memory. With that information we create. Is it right knowledge? No. The moment you have a right knowledge and then what happens? You don't have a right knowledge, you get into problem. This is what our master says. See that, my friends? So 4. So there are 4 groups of thoughts. 4 groups of thoughts that creates problem in the mind. Can you remember two direct contact with the mind, right perception and wrong perception? Two indirect contact with the mind means trigger comes from the memory, from the past impression, and the fifth group of, you see, you'll be surprised. That is what the Patanjali says, the great master. He says the fifth is Pramana Viparya Vikalpa Nidra Smriti. Nidra means sleep. So the brain is not processing what is going on in the mind. Hence we realize that there are no thoughts in the mind. It does not mean that if the light bulb is not processing the light, it does not mean there is no light. Now comes the third catch in the journey. When we say mindfulness, we all hear the word. What is that? Emptiness of the mind. Mind has to be empty with these 5 groups of thought, pattern and modification according to Patanjali. So we experience in the state of mindfulness, the very first stage of mindfulness, that now the mind is not going outside with any of these 5 thought patterns, and that mind experiences the sense of emptiness because the mind is not triggering us to desire and to action and etc. etc. Clear? What about the impressions that is already stored? They are still working, and we experienced the mindfulness on the surface, the emptiness on the surface, but the impressions are working. So when we erase those impressions, they are known as vasanas, mental imprints of every thought, feeling and action is what is known as impression. I'm talking to you, it is creating an impression in my mind. What? So, I'm talking of emptiness. See that? Because you are listening the principles, you are understanding the principles, it is creating a mental imprint, but they are not harmful. They will never cause you any issue. So you see that there are 3 points, and then we will start with our meditation. First, all the 5 kinds of thought pattern comes to a halt. The mind is not interested. You see, comes to a halt, I'm qualifying. The mind is not at all interested in 5 kinds of thought pattern. So now mind realizes there are mental imprints of the past down there. At the same time, you are listening to the principles. They create another mental imprint, and they are going to replace the existing. You reach to the highest state of mindfulness, which is known as Asampragyat Samadhi by Patanjali. And that reveals our true nature. Close your eyes. Let us start our journey today. See that how easy it is. Eyes are closed. First, the position of the body. Now see that let us follow the Patanjali path today. So, first is the position of the body, and eyes are closed. Check it, understand it, experience it. Position of the body. You feel the sensation. Do you remember the 3 divisions of the mind? The knowledge happening in the mind. Knowledge about the body is an object, and you claim that I know. Position of the body is clear. Eyes are closed, and I'm into the meditation practice. You see that this is what is happening. That is why we say meditation and mindfulness is a journey. It's a joy of conscious living. Now see, Patanjali says, can you categorize those thoughts by understanding yama, satyam, truth, right perception? That is also right. Satyam, asteyam, non-stealing has to come with the imagination and the memory. Do you have any memory now? Leave it. Do you create an imagination that I'll be flying into the sky and reach to the Mars through the practice of meditation? Don't do that. See that? Wrong perception? No. So yama and niyama, these two goals, there are. First is yama, that you recognize the right, the 5 categories of the thoughts if you go deeply. And the niyama is to start working on the mind. So that working on the mind is being comfortable. So look at the neck joint, feel the sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. And shoulder joints. So you see that, do you realize? I am looking at shoulder joint. Shoulder joint is an object. I is there is also part of the mind. And I know the shoulder joints. I experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Everything mind is doing. But why you said that we have to transcend the mind? We have to transcend the mind naturally. The moment you force the mind, it will enter into the 5 groups of the thoughts. You see, that is why these tools were created by different masters based on the temperament. Move the mind on the hip joint. Casually, now you are aware. This mind is divided into subject, object, and knowledge, experience, awareness. What is that knowledge here? Sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Now you see that you're creating mental imprints of what? Sensation, which is detached from wrong perception. Being comfortable, and steadiness, mental imprints. You see, very subtle process goes on in the journey. The entire body, move the mind on the entire body, feeling the sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Now 2 things have happened. It is a steady and relaxed posture. So asana is also included now, see that. So yam niyam asana. Now simply look at the breath. We're directly moving there, looking at the breath going in and out, and at the same time, now you are aware. These 5 group of thought enters into the mind. What should you do? The moment they enter, use that as an opportunity to move the mind on the breath. See that? We are entering into pranayama. Why? Simple. Patanjali says, not Hatha Yoga. Patanjali says, Dharana Sucho Yogyata Manasa. The mind attains the remarkable power of one-pointedness. Here it means the mind naturally starts moving within. See that. And what is the wrong perception about pranayama in the world? Yeah, it works, but the goal, we should have a clarity. Dharana sucho yogyata manasa. Remarkable power. Tatakshiyate prakasha varanam. So when we do some kind of a pranayama, according to Patanjali, the very incomplete knowledge is left out. That very strong clinging to the labels of my house, my husband, my son, my daughter leaves you. How? By pranayama. Yes. And that is why you have seen that what kind of breathing practices I gave to you. So now, as the breath goes in, make the breath little deeper. We introduce pranayama. The breath is returning, and make your breath little deeper. So we are aware, yes. Can you make the breath little deep, silent and slow? See that. So how it happens, deep, silent and slow every time the breath goes in. First, the breath goes into the belly and the belly goes up. It's a continuity of the breath. Then the rib cage rises. And as you exhale, first the belly goes down and then the rib cage. Why we are doing like this? We need one-pointedness on the breath, off the mind. But why? To get rid of those 5 types of thought pattern. No. Oh, let us do it in practice and experience. We're going little deeply, and then we will, now in this pranayama, we will also add pratyahara. Pratyahara, to direct perception by the mind. See that. That is how the entire journey of Ashtanga Yoga is done. You are in the state of being comfortable. The previous experience should continue. Normally in the world outside, the previous experience is left out. There is a sense of forgetfulness. That is not possible. That should not be done in the journey of mindfulness. Like you have to travel 500 miles, you traveled 100 miles, stopped at a restaurant, you don't go back. The point of departure, you continue from there, the same thing. The position of the body confirmed. Why? Yama niyama should continue. Sensation being comfortable and steadiness, the asana, is confirmed. Asana is confirmed. and we are breathing deep, silent and slow. In that state of sensation, being comfortable and steadiness, keep that statement in your mind, that emptiness of the mind is mindfulness. That is what we are doing. Deep, silent and slow. Now, in order to do the pratyahara means give the sense organ a food that they cannot digest. It means what? The senses stops going there. The easiest way, as the breath goes in, as the breath goes in or out, mentally say Shantoham. But we are also going to add the sixth organ, sixth limb of Ashtanga Yoga, the eight-limbed path. How? The sixth limb literally means one-pointedness on an object. So our object is the space. As you inhale, Shantoham, looking into the space inside. The space is our object. Why? We are aspiring for emptiness of the mind, and the space is very, very near to that emptiness. Now, I'm just becoming extremely logical. Why? So the intellect understands, and the intellect is not carried away by these five groups of the thoughts. See that? I'm making it 100% clear, no secret is left out. So now can I explain your state? In the state of natural position of the body, eyes are closed, in the state of being comfortable, because previous steps in their experiences should continue. In the state of being comfortable, feeling the sensation and steadiness, the mind is looking at the breath, and the mind is regulating the breath, deep, silent and slow, with recitation mentally of Shantoham, looking into the space. Now see the point. If you are doing it consciously, this may be the last session you will reach to that state. Understand that part. When you are doing Shantoham consciously and breathing consciously, deep, silent and slow, can I say, are you bypassing the three groups of thought pattern? Imagination, memory, and the sleep? See that? How simple. That is how these tools in the step works. Deeper. And sometimes people still fall into sleep. Means what? Practice is not done correctly. When the mind doesn't live in any of these five objective states, the mind will be empty. How simple it is. Now the breath is the same. Repeat 2 Shantoham in every inhalation and every exhalation to check. If the mind in the background returns to these 5 groups of thoughts, how? I'll feel no, it is not possible, I cannot synchronize. What is there to synchronize? You inhale Shantoham and you're looking into the space. Shantoham, looking into the space. Breathing out Shantoham. The mind is continuously looking into the space. There you are dropping Shantoham with the breath going in and out. We are adding pranayama, pratyahara and dharana together. So when I made that statement, you are aware. Thoughts are there, but okay, you be there, I'm doing my journey. You go to the mall, you find thousands of the people. You're not at all concerned about anyone except you. I know you get it. So they will attack. These 5 objective states of the mind with different thought pattern will attack, but not at all concerned. Why? Mindfulness, emptiness. How simple. How easy. Understanding. Practice. I have always been saying regular practice with wisdom succeeds meditation. The wisdom is not there. What will happen? You will do asana for 10 years claiming that you have achieved. Nothing will happen. You may do pranayama for hours together. But why? How? With what experience? Not clear. You'll end up in perfecting the breathing practice, but not meditation. And now make that Shantoham natural. The breath continues to be deeper. Shantoham, Shantoham, Shanto. Just drop, see this space. Drop, see this space. Drop, see this space. It may be 3, it may be 4. But don't start questioning the mind. No, while breathing in I did 3, while breathing out I did 4. We are lifting that curfew over the mind. Why? That is also one objective state of the mind. See, instant revelation, understanding that whatever we are doing through the mind may have to do with the right perception. That is one group of thoughts. Let me be natural. But at the same time, we are keeping the breath deep, silent, and slow. This practice is normally given to very high seekers. They know it, they understand it, they experience it, and they realize, oh, it is. Breath is still deep, silent and slow to give a break to the mind. It shouldn't go outside. That is what we are working. And at the same time, on the other side, the mind is casual and natural. It is dropping Shantoham, Shantoham, Shantoham. But with what? With wisdom. What is that wisdom? You're looking into the space. Or darkness, or simply blankness. I believe you remember the breath is deep, silent and slow. Why? To bring the three tools together, the prana, yama, pratyahara and dharana. To keep the mind one-pointedness naturally, and then on the top of it we are dropping Shantoham casually and naturally with awareness of the space, in and out. Why space? Emptiness is likens the space. Maybe you can say we are giving some food to the mind in the direction we are moving. Whatever. Can we do it with a natural one-pointedness? Check it. Leave the deep, silent, slow breath. Let it be normal, casual. And with every breath going in, Shantoham. Every breath coming out, Shantoham. A normal breath. Shantoham, space. Shantoham, space. Check it. Is your experience is going about the body, about the room, about the people with whom you have joined. How simple it is. Yes, even drop the Shantoham. Is the mind looking deep inside into the same state of emptiness or the space without saying Shantoham? So the mind asks the question, how should I keep the mind there? There is no need. It is already there. So even the mind doesn't leave us. That is the problem. We do nothing, just remain there. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. The word is I take refuge. So who takes that refuge? This mind, which causes the division of object, subject, and the knowledge in between. You drop this trio, you live into that state of emptiness. Bring your mind to the right hand. Feel the sensation, your mind to the left hand. Feel the sensation. Raise both your palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences, bring the hands down, and now we will share our experiences with any questions that you have. So whosoever unmute, I will address to him. or her. So anyone, Ashok, unmute and let us see what is your experience.
The experience was good, but when I take deep breathing, then due to my cough, it was creating some problem for me. But overall, the experience was very, very good today.
Very good. Oh, good. Very good. How are you, Priscilla?
Excellent. I really enjoyed your commentary, and I felt when you said go down,
Yeah.
I just felt myself going down.
Wonderful.
And then my body felt as if it was made out of porous rock, like lava rock that has a lot of holes in it. And I felt like I was absorbing stuff.
That's really good. Absorbing stuff
good.
means the mind is going very deep.
Yes.
You see how this Ashtanga Yoga works? Normally, what is our popular notion of Ashtanga Yoga? So that is what is happening. So how are you, Paul?
Doing well. I had a little problem in the beginning because it kept focusing on Shanto Hum, but then once I was able to let that go, I did get into the emptiness.
Ah, that's wonderful. That's really good. Understand.
I concentrated too much on the word.
Yes. You can easily go there. We have done practices for years together. Now see that point, one master says, do you see the sky? Yes. What is the sky? It is the space. It is emptiness. But still there are clouds. There are birds flying. And the space is a container. But now you are not at all attached to anyone. No label. No label. So that is the very first stage of emptiness. And to Priscilla, it has 4 stages. Then we go into the total emptiness according to Patanjali in the first chapter, which he says sampragyat samadhi. That is how it works. So, how are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत अच्छा हुआ आज.
Good.
और बॉडी का पता नहीं चल रहा था.
Bodilessness. That's good. Very good. Very good.
हो गया था पर बीच बीच में कुछ आपकी आवाज चल रही है तो थोड़ा थोड़ा कुछ आ रहा था पर एम्प्टीनेस थी काफी हद तक.
Emptiness was it. That's good. I think everyone is very deep. How are you, Terry? Terry, you can say it. Your voice is open, unmuted.
There it is.
How are you, Terry?
Oh, hi. I was just, my breath got a little deeper than usual.
That's good.
I was just conscious of the elements of the lesson, the Shanto hums and the looking into the space and breath. And I had to consciously breathe. It wasn't natural.
Yeah.
But I was able to
Go deeper.
the breath would go deeper. So I just kept on doing that.
Wonderful. You see that? Any journey of meditation doesn't need anything outside that includes the body, the breath. But in the beginning, we have to use these tools, which I say devices and tools, to move deeper. And one more minute, I need your attention so that, so you intruded in, you interfere, or you entered in the middle. How are you, Shobha? So you were busy, you thought, let me enter in between? Very good. Anyhow, how is your experience? जो मैंने कहा
बाद में वापस
बिल्कुल मालूम
बाद में वापस ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे बॉडी नहीं है बट
bodilessness.
मुश्किल हो रही
Yes, that is really good. Now, may I just give you just a minute so that we will